Welcome back and thank you for joining me. Let's check it out. So this is our village so far, and we'll just zoom in and have a closer look. We've got different levels to the terrain now. Can't build on the really uneven bits. It really brings the game to life, I think. We've got our warehouse just built, so you can specify to store stuff here. So we can do wood and set a limit. Let's just say 5. Well, actually, it's quite a lot now, isn't it? Let's say 50,000 wood. That way we can start storing wood from the forestry and basically frees up their in-building capacity, so they can start going out and collecting more. We'll need to employ someone. Good, we can employ women. We'll have 3 women there to start off with and just build up a big old pile of wood. There's our people walking around, and look, we've got 3 on the bench, so we could do with building another bench. I'll just see what else we might need to store. So we've got loads of firewood. I don't think we need to store any firewood. We may need to store a bit of charcoal once it's being produced. So what have we got here? We've got 3,169 charcoal. Very nice. We'll store a couple of thousand in the warehouse. In fact, if we just store all of it, it means we can keep burning charcoal and start to build those up as well. Okay, we'll see how that goes. We'll go on a bit faster, and we could do with some more benches, because people do need to rest, you know. So we'll just rotate this one round using R and T. Put a bench down, then we're going to check out some more buildings. One more bench up here, because they are important. There we go, just outside that house, so everyone has somewhere to go. So we're building a new cart park up there, and look, we've got our first well, and it's on, there we go, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to fill up all the way. It was previously 100. I wonder if it's going up to 1,000. I think they might have scaled things by another factor of 10 or 100. So we'll wait for that to fill up, and when that well and this well is filled up, then we'll get rid of that one. It's a bit out in the way. Have we got a boat? Not yet. We don't have a fishing boat yet because we're still building it. We're awaiting wood. We've got 1,400 and we need 2,000. Okay, so that's going to be coming pretty soon. In fact, is that the delivery? Another 200 wood there. Let's speed up the game further then, because we want to get a fishing boat for our fishermen. And then after we've built the carpentry, which we've got over here, we'll start on the next house and we'll see if we can start to increase our population. Got 3 builders. But what we want to start building next is a farm, I think. We need to start bringing in the food. Here's the farm. And then we've got all these animals, chicken coop, cow shed, pigsty. We'll get into all of that. But we'll go for the farm first. Just have a think about where to lay this down, because I haven't pre-planned any of this. Could have it here, couldn't we? Expand the village down here in terms of housing. Have a couple of farms here. Then have the houses around, then maybe another farm up here. Maybe that... Let's give that a go then. Not entirely sure. Should we have it down like this way round for no particular reason? Let's have it there. Ooh, uneven terrain. Ooh. Let us put it down there anyway. Right, we've put our first farm down, and we'll wait for that to complete. We've got our carpentry done. Let's go and check it out, see how it's doing, what it looks like. Okay, so really you're just there for our carts, and you're nearly running out yet, so... I think when the first cart breaks is when we need to activate our carpenter, because otherwise he won't just fix them when they're low on energy, which might be a nice thing to do. It just fixes them when they're broken, so we need to keep an eye on that. We're filling up the warehouse with charcoal and wood, so already we're in a situation where we're replenishing this charcoal pile, and we're starting to use the people we've got in the wood, in the forestry much better. Yeah, so There we go, they've just made a load more firewood. And we're using all that. Okay, so we're building our stockpiles. So we can build more and more buildings. Let's just see, we've got a boat there. Let's order another boat and we'll get fishing. We need to get fishing as soon as possible. So I'll just play the game. You can only fish during the summer. What's that? Iron. So we can store iron in our warehouse. Let's unemploy a builder and employ a fisherman. See if we can get someone. And in fact, yeah, that should be fine. Let's unemploy a female just in case that helps to free up. Let's store all of our iron here so we can get rid of that sort of camp storage. It would be great if you could, yeah, we'll empty that. It'd be great if you could just like move some of these buildings you started off with and make them a part of your village. That'd be cool. Okay, let's speed up the game. We're building our last house, and this house is just going to be spare, so we can lure in some new residents. But we're going to see what the criteria is now for new people to move in, because there we go, we're selling firewood, but we need to have a ready supply of food, so we need fish. Got anyone there? Yeah, we've got someone working in the fishing dock now, and it's November, so we know when they can't fish because everything's covered in snow and ice. So they're going to be able to get in a little bit of fish, and we may be able to get some people in. Got all these materials being used for the house, and only 2 builders on now. We started off with a load, didn't we? Here we go, it's snowing, and we are going to lose our fishermen. Can't fish in winter, there we go. So let's take you off, and don't know if the boatyard can't complete an order in winter. Yeah, the boatyard can't work in winter either. So this winter phase can just be a time where you can build. We've got plenty of thatch now. We could store thatch in here as well, just to increase our capacity, because they can just be actually doing something. And then once we've got big enough stores of all this, we'll be a bit happier to take workers off some of the jobs. We don't need that many in the thatchery. Yeah, the idea is just to build up all these supplies so that, you know, if one of them, say for example we need more workers, we can just take them off the forestry and we've got plenty of wood in storage to keep us going. And that's just a way of using workers smarter, being able to build a bit more. So we'll just see what else we can start building. So we've done cart parking, market stall, warehouse, granaries for food, and we don't really have much food yet, so we'll hold on that. Although I guess we could store fish in granary, but I don't think it's important. We could, okay, so I quite like to build things like a town hall early on, so we have that management of the economy, and also building like a trading post. We've got a farm that we're building, and we need the farm to get going to then support the animals, so we can feed our animals. Put a town hall down there next to the warehouse. Seems like a logical move. We're building the farm next. We've got plenty of building materials, so we can just go for this. And in fact, if I'm calling this a building phase, let's get the builders on the go. Have we got a need for a carpenter? Yes, nearly. Look, they're really low on energy. And look at where all the carts are going. They're delivering the supplies to the farm. Should we see the farm being built in winter? So what are they building here? It's just the farmhouse, isn't it? And then we build the fields around it. So as soon as the farm's built, we'll start building some fields. And moving further into the game, we build some cow sheds so we can make some oxen to plough the fields to make them more efficient, put more nutrients into them. So we'll show you all of that. There's a lot to this game, and really importantly about the farm, there's a way to cap the number of workers, especially when you have 2 farms. They kind of all tended to go to one farm and then not the other. So we'll look at all the dynamics of the farm, which are very interesting. I think some people just moved into town, you know, that's what that cart was about. Oh yes, we've got more people. Okay, let's start expanding putting more houses down now that we can get more people. Maybe people just come in, whereas before this update, there had to be certain criteria they met, or maybe we're just meeting that criteria. Okay, put a house, press down shift. Ooh. There we go, press down shift so we can lay down another one. We'll lay another one. Just want to get it right. There we go. We'll put 2 more up there, and we'll just have like rows of 3 and then alleyways in between, just so there's freedom of movement all around the village. We don't want to be blocking them in and out of just one entrance at either end or anything like that. That would be silly. That's what I did in my previous episode. Okay, so we're building the farm, and that's not going to take long to complete, and then we'll start laying out the fields, which is a pretty nice thing to do. And they're pretty free-form when you get the fields going. We'll just have a look at what's going to come next. So I quite liked putting in a cowshed pretty early on, but also we've got the option of doing a trading post, because if you have the trading post first, you can then trade for animals, and we could do that near the town hall, couldn't we? Could do it down there. Is that going to get in the way of any housing, any future housing? It's a bit on the wonk. Don't know if I should build the town hall like the trading post like that or like that. Either way is going to annoy someone or me. Or we could have it on the side here. That would be nice, wouldn't it, to get rid of that camp. We've got new cart parking, and this is important actually. Let me show you how to... Ooh, okay, we need our carpenter because we need to repair some carts. But if you grab the picture of the cart over here and drag it over to this new cart park, it'll be moved, and so we're just going to move all the carts over to our new cart parking. Our carpenter's going to get up and running and start fixing those carts. Our wells are almost full. We've got 2 with a good volume of water, so we're just going to demolish that well. It'll take them a little while to do. We sold 20 fish, so that was good. We'll get rid of that cart park. Looks like we've lost our camp storage, so it looks like that just disappeared when we built our warehouse maybe, and we got rid of the iron. Building the town hall now. So once we've built the town hall, we'll have a bit more control over our economy. Ooh, in a bit too close there. Still in winter, waiting for... Ooh, have we built the farm? Oh, we have. Right, let's play the game on a slow speed. So we're going to be coming into spring soon, and I want to add some fields. Now, these plus signs are where you add a plough to order a plough from the carpenter. We're not going to do that yet because we don't have any oxen to work them. And I'll tell you something about that prioritise gathering button. Ooh, prioritise gathering. That's changed because that used to be prioritise harvesting, so that's good. Right, let's add some fields and then see how this works. So I quite like to add quite a few different fields. They're always a little bit different in size. Places occupied, what are we saying? Okay, it's not quite liking this. Have the entrance near the farm. Okay, I've not come across this before. Let's bring it down here then, with the entrance on the right hand side. Okay, yeah, it's a bit happier. Oh, okay, so the entrance was actually clashing with the building. Go on then, let's rebuild it. So we'll build it a bit further away, and that'll be fine. There we go, just got to give the entrance to the field a bit of room. So that's our first field, and you click on the field and you activate it, and you can select which harvest you want to put in. So we'll go for wheat first, and that's fine. Let's do another field because we'll need more. We'll do it on the side, so we'll do it a bit further away, bring it down, and then bring it out. Okay, so this is slightly bigger in area because it's a bit fatter. And we'll activate that, and this one will do buckwheat, and then we'll do some different crops. So we'll add another field on the side, and we'll fill in the gaps as well. So we'll end up with quite a few more fields than we've got. Okay, yeah, I'm liking the size of that. And then we're going to go for potatoes. Okay, so we have a look at these crops. Sunflower, hemp. Sunflower and hemp are quite like luxury goods. Hemp helps you make clothes. Sunflower you can turn into oil, and that's really good for trading. And leaving it fallow gets all the nutrients back. This is the starting nutrients, and these are what each crop takes out of the soil in nutrients. And when they go to zero, you'll just get a worse crop. So you need to balance the fields and grow different things from year to year, and we'll definitely explore that. We'll get a worker and we'll get a manager. Ah, good, and women can be managers and workers, so that's going to be using them well. In which case we'll get rid of a worker at the thatchery. We've got plenty of thatch now in stock, 1700, and we'll have some in here as well, nearly 2000. Those are the reeds that are turning into thatch. Here we go, we're starting to thaw into the spring. So let's get some fishermen, let's take some builders off. We're probably okay with 2 builders for now, and that means we can have, yeah, plenty of people. We have a couple of people in the farm. Ooh, let's just put loads. Yeah, we'll go maximum on the farm, because we're going to need to be sowing these fields and planting some crops. We've got 2 people in the fishing dock, but we've only got 1 boat. But that's fine, because 1 person can't use that boat 100% of the time. So those 2 will keep that boat in maximum use. We will get another boat out of the boat yard pretty shortly. Look, they're sowing the crop. What can we see? Here we go, this is our farm. These are our fields, and I'll show you what we'll be ultimately expanding into. We'll fill out this corner with a field, and this corner, and then all these up here. That's taking up quite a lot of room, isn't it? Have to have a think about where we're going to put more houses. It'll probably end up going up here. I don't know. See how it all expands. Still building the town hall, and we've got, yeah, this is the build progress up here, so we're nearly there, we're right at the end of it, and all the goods have been delivered, it looks like, so we'll just be like literally building it. Okay, happy with that. Have we got people? Yeah, we've got people in the forestry, we've got 2 in the smithy. Wow, that's good. We've only got 4 slots in our warehouse. Could do with another warehouse, you know. I'm going to lay down a warehouse because we can be storing other things. Let's put it down here, either side of the town hall, just to look symmetrical for no particular reason. There you go. Oh, and you know what else we have in front of the town hall is a bench. People can just be sitting down in the shade. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4 benches there. We're on to house building next, and we'll be demolishing that well after those houses and building a warehouse. And we're planting our seeds, and we're fishing. Oh look, we've got 30 fish in stock, so we could probably do with a granary somewhere around this sort of area, couldn't we? Because we've got all these crops. And we've got some fish, so let's lay down a granary. So it's a new building, and it's... Where is it? Is it in there? This one. There we go. Ooh, where's that going to go? Could lay it down here, or it makes sense if it was further up here. Let's lay it down on this path. Or we could lay it down on this path. We don't really have any paths forge, but we've got a path from the farm, haven't we? We want to keep space for that field, so yeah, let's put it on this side. There we go, we've laid it down there. It'll look fine once it's all done. We're building that house, and that was our first new family with all these fancy things that are soon going to run out. But we've got fish, and before long it shows you the harvest. So we're growing at the moment. I'm just at the start of growth, and we'll speed up time because we're in March. Let's look at our economy. So here we go, we've got this actions sort of frame opened up that we can change our wages and stuff. Got a basic monthly wage to $2.50. Manager's wage much higher. We can set the product's price at the markets and their rent. So far this year we are $23 in income. Expenses are way higher. Wow. So we need more rent and we need more sales. Got $682. Can we reduce this down? We can set it to 0, but then no one will work. So let's just set it down to minimum. 10 cents each, and it just gives us more time. Put that down to the minimum as well. 5. And just put those up at 100%, or should we put that down as well? Let's put that down to minimum as well. It's just going to buy us more time setting everything to the minimum, because look, our money will go down a bit slower while we build up our economy. What have we got growing here? Yeah, so we've done the sowing. So here you can see at the very beginning of the year you can do ploughing. We don't have a plough, so we'll skip that. We're on to sowing. We're now into growth, and they're growing very well. And then they get ripe, and we harvest. So prioritise gathering. I think we're going to prioritise gathering, because once it's ready for harvesting, we want to gather it in. No, we don't. Okay, so what we want to do is harvest it first, and what that means for some of the crops is just putting it in piles on the fields. And when it's put in piles, it can then later be gathered, and that's what this prioritised gathering means. However, we need to harvest it all first and then gather it, and that will buy you an extra month. And that is where you can sometimes come undone, because you don't quite have enough time to gather all of your crops. How's this house going? So we're 2/3, 3/4 of the way through. That'll be very nearly built. In fact, we could probably watch that be built. And what we'll do next is lay down a trading post. So we need 8,700 wood, 174 nails, and 3,200 clay. Clay we've got infinite amounts of. Wood, we've got 12,000 there, and we've got 2,800 there. Oh look, all of our carts have been relocated apart from one, which is still being mended, and we'll just order another cart so we have 4, so we can help with mobility around the village. In fact, we could probably do with another cart park and then order some more carts as well, so we'll just gradually do that. But look, we've done our house. This is it. This is what you need for migration. We need a water supply that's sufficient. Oh, we missed the rest of it. You'll have to rewind and see that. It will say available food, water supply, work, I think, available work for slots. So they're not just going to move in automatically. You have to have certain things in place first. We'll lay down some more houses now that we've got the workers coming in. And we'll put them fairly close together. Put you there. I'll put you there, so they're all opposite each other. There we go. And we can put the little archways over these alleyways. This is a complete run of houses. Ooh, it's a bit brighter from this end. This must be south facing. So the houses on this row will be more desirable. So we'll put that archway on a hill, and we'll just bring the fence to it. Ooh. Going a bit closer there. There we go. Drag you to the corner. So we've just joined up that to the archway, so they just go straight through. And that's quite nice. Sort of go in and go round and out, and there's nothing keeping them in. They can go out anywhere they like. In the middle, we could have our market stalls. Either side of these bits could work well. That way it's quite central, the market. Because at the minute, these guys have to go all the way over here to the market stall. But if we put one here and here, it'll be a shorter distance. That's just going to help with efficiencies. We're halfway through that growth. And we're bringing in the fish. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how things are going. I'm going to lay down the trading post because we've got enough materials for it all. Oh yeah, I was going to get this cart parking out of the way. Yes, okay, let's do that. So we'll demolish the cart parking. Have we demolished this yet? Oh, that's good. You can undo a demolish or pause. That'll be demolished soon. That well that's just in the middle of the way. Right in the middle of the way. We're going to put our trading post here. I'm a bit happier with that. Oh, uneven terrain. How annoying. Ah. Can we fit it in anywhere around here on a different angle? No, it doesn't like the oh, yes. It's okay down here at an angle. Oh yes, we can fit it in there. Oh, can you live with that? The entrances being on the other side. Go on, we're done. Done it. Laid it down. It might have been nice to have it up here, so it's just closer to all the people coming in and out, but let's have it in the middle of everything and see how it goes. Okay, so we've set down our trading post and we've built our town centre. Let's have a look at our population. Here we go, migration status. So this is what you need to get people to move in. You need a sufficient water supply, enough food for sale, an actual house that's available, jobs that are available, and no religious buildings required at this point. Okay, so if you get to a certain size in population, that's part of the update, you're going to need a church to expand your population, so that's interesting. It's a good dynamic to introduce into the game. So we need more jobs. Let's make more jobs. Here's a job. Here's a job. More builders? Yeah, we could do with some more builders. And we've got 2 fishermen with 2 boats. Let's order another boat because we've got our boat maker. And then once we've once you've made all your boats, you then need the boat maker to maintain the boats. So you can see the power bar there below them, the green line. When that goes down to 0, like with the carts, they need repairing. There we go. We've got 4 carts now. Our carpenter's built that extra cart. And look, we're not going to be long off harvesting our first crops. So that's going to help feed our people this winter. And if we lay down some more fields, just make sure that they're not going to try and harvest them or start sowing them. These will be quite big ones in the corner. These, I think we've just had a new family move in. Whoops. What am I doing with this field? Quite precise, this game. Got to get it right. Right, so that's not activated. Good. So we'll leave that deactivated and we'll just activate it for next year. But we're building it. Building our fields. Drawing out the pens and the pastures. And actually, quite interestingly, the farm building acts as a storage for all the crops. So it's good to have some. It is good to have some like animal buildings right next to them, like the chicken coop, the cow shed, and the pigsty. Cow shed doesn't matter because you make your own hay with the stuff here on trade and transport. Hay barrack. And then in the production tab there's a hay dryer, so the hay just gets made. Cow sheds, you need to order the cows in from the trading post, so we could start to set up a cow shed, because they're not going to take food away from the people, and they're pretty easy to grow. You can put a cow shed down here if it'll like the terrain. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got 3 boats now. Should we have another fisherman? Yep, straight in there. Let's see if we can do a cow shed then. Uneven terrain. I wonder if we move that around a bit, if it'll be... Oh yes, it'll allow it down here. Oh, should we build a cow shed down here? Behind the granary. Is that wise? Should I build a cow shed behind the granary? That even makes sense, because we'd have hay dryers behind it and some hay barracks, and it would fit in, it would slot in, but then we would want more cow sheds. So really ooh, look, they're harvesting. Look, so this is what they're doing. They're harvesting and they're putting everything in piles, and then they're going somewhere else to another field and they're putting everything in a pile, and then they come back and just bring it in, and that's gathering, I think. And so if you say you'll prioritise gathering, they're just going to focus on harvesting this field and then gathering it all in, and then we kind of forget about all the other fields, and then all of a sudden the crop gets ruined because you know it's taking too long. So that's kind of the theory. Hope you understand that. Oh, and look. So there's got to be a way of limiting all these labourers. Make empty, resource supply, higher options. Oh, you beautiful world. Look, you can set a limit on the labourers. That wasn't there before. That's part of the update. Because basically, if you set the limit to 20, you lose all of your workers from everywhere just working on the farm. And you might have another farm where all the workers go to one farm but not to the other, and so yeah, that is fantastic. Okay, I'm happy with that. We're just going to set it to 10 for now. But really, you kind of want all hands on deck when it comes to... so we'll take people off the warehouse. When it comes to harvesting the crop and bringing it in, you want all hands on deck, really. Got another warehouse there that can have some stuff in. So we're basically producing... okay, well, we're not reaching our limits in that building and the smithy, but when we do, we could store some of the stuff in the warehouse to free them up. That's fine. And here you see, this is an interesting thing about the forestry. They're hacking through all these trees, but you can plant trees as well. And the way you plant trees is by creating your own field. And I won't actually lay down a field yet, but there you go. If I complete it, then it'll fill that with like little trees that need planting. Kind of like when I first put these trees in the corner. Remember these trees when I planted them? They're growing now. There was just like a little wooden frame. That's kind of like what appears when you plant trees in the forestry. Lots of little wooden frames. They have to go out and plant each individual one. Go in and out. And so yeah, we can set up tree fields. Oh, not happy with diversity, that one. Where does it say it? So this, not enough food variety. There you go. You just hover over it. Well, we'll get food variety to you. Ooh, do you know what we can do? Now we've harvested everything, put more people on fishing. Even though we've got 3 boats, not 3 people can't man the boats 24 hours a day. So we can, yeah, 5 people makes it more efficient. But look, in our market we can add buckwheat, and we can add... What else did we do? We did wheat. Okay, so wheat is used to make bread. Let's build a windmill so we can process our wheat. So where should we have the windmill? It'd be good to have it near the granary and near the farm. Oh yes, right there would be perfect. because it's away from the line of the fields and the houses. Oh, look at all these paths they've made. What's our farm doing? So we've pretty much, yeah, we've harvested everything. We're holding it in the farm. So we've got 700 and odd wheat, nearly 1,000 buckwheat, and nearly 1,000 potatoes. Okay, we're making great progress. I think we'll call it a day for this episode. Join me in the next episode where we're going to be building more and more things and expanding our economy and our production lines and all the different things we're making and growing. Thank you for watching.